Thank you for joining me, Ashwin Berry, on NMH at 1. In this lunch hour, we will highlight the news-making headlines in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports and economic news. Here are the headlines. Cabinet discusses Meatco's future. Overflowing river causes road closure approximately 5 kilometers from Namibia-South Africa border. And SA government's decision to terminate special residency permits of around 180,000 Zimbabweans ruled unconstitutional. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com, DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 in Namibia. Midday news update after the break. Drivers have been advised to practice caution due to the road closure approximately 5 kilometers from the Namibia-South Africa border at Vilsdrift due to an overflowing river. Visual News brings you local stories from across Namibia right after the break. Stay with NMH at 1.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
In our visual news, activist Omar van Rienen shed some light on the LGBTQIA+ march which took place in Windhoek this past weekend. He spoke to Junior Kapofi.
Hi Namibia, this is Omar from Equal Namibia and we are at the March Against Hate in celebrations of Pride Month and in celebrations of the LGBTQ community, of queer culture in Namibia, of queer joy. June is Pride Month, and this Pride Month our community had to take a little bit of a step back to make sure our safety and security is taken very seriously. And unfortunately, because of a rise of hate speech and hate crimes that we've experienced from our elected representatives and from church leaders, disappointingly, after the Supreme Court verdict. But today we are gathered here to really breathe life into what Pride Month means to our community. And Pride is about our community's resilience, standing strong in the face of decades of religious and state-sanctioned homophobia. But pride marches like this and a march against hate like this is so important to stand up against bigotry, to stand up against hate and incitement of violence in any form. But mainly what today's march is all about is to send a message and to shake this country in all its corners, to say that we are Namibia based on love and not hate, that we are Namibia where everybody belongs, that we are Namibia with open arms, open doors and open hearts, and that we are Namibia where we will not allow any of our elected representatives to abuse their oath of office and use a marginalized community for cheap political points. So today our visibility is our greatest weapon against state-sanctioned and religious homophobia in Namibia. And today we have one message: we belong in a born-free Namibia. Much love and happy Pride Month, Namibia. This is what being born-free looks like.
After the break, the Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toyvon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, oneup2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Let's get into the newspaper review, starting with Namibian Sun. Government should be very careful about making decisions to appease foreigners instead of Namibian voters, a traditional leader remarked yesterday after the Ministry of Home Affairs announced that it will comply with a recent Supreme Court ruling recognizing foreign same-sex spouses married abroad to Namibians. Ukwambi Chief Hermene Ipumbu, who is also the chairperson of the 8 Ovambo traditional authorities, says the government should be very careful they do not get voted for by outsiders. The ministry yesterday informed its staff to refrain from requesting foreign nationals married to Namibians of the same sex and the dependent children of the parties to same-sex marriages to provide any type of permit for their entry into residence, work and/or study in Namibia. On the paper's page 2, cultural showcases are vital for our society because they help preserve and promote Namibian cultures, safeguarding our identity and attracting local and international tourism. This according to Prime Minister Sarako Ngelwa Amadila, who was addressing exhibitors at the official opening of the Ehao Cultural Expo on Tuesday in Okahao. She said business expos have proven to be effective and efficient mechanisms for promoting business at all levels of the community as they bring together various areas of business under one roof. Cabinet is currently discussing Meatco's future, its restructuring as well as possible partnerships with the private sector. No decisions have been made so far. Agriculture, Water and Land Reform Minister Carl Schlatwijn told Namibia Media Holdings yesterday. This comes amid media reports that Schlatwijn allegedly rejected a proposal for the privatization of Meatco and proposed $1.7 billion Namibian plan for the recapitalization of the institution. Zimbabwean-born Judge Rita Makarau was yesterday sworn in as an acting judge of the Supreme Court by Chief Justice Peter Shivute. This follows concerns about her qualifications after the Justice Ministry initially announced her appointment. In a statement on the criticism, the ministry said Makarau was still fit to serve as a member of the judiciary. Concerns about Makarau's place in the Namibian Supreme Court apparently stemmed from media reports in which Namibia's former Chief Electoral Officer Gerard Totemeyer and other political analysts questioned her ties to the Mugabe regime. The Agamana Zeitung today leads with a report about the Canadian gas and oil exploration company Reconnaissance Energy courting investors in an effort to refinance their exploration activities. The new market offering to the approximate value of $5 million does not apply to U.S. funding though. It specifically points to the fact that the offer is not for dissemination, release or publication in or into the United States or for distribution to U.S. newswire services. In another report on its website, the company reports about promising signs of gas in the Damara Fault Belt. On its page 3, the Agamana Zeitung reports about the recent meeting between the environment and tourism ministers of the various member countries of the Southern African Development Community, who agreed about the need to strengthen projects and policies related to environmental protection and tourism promotion in the region. This was the conclusion reached by the assembled ministers at a virtual ministerial meeting on 22 June, at which time the leaders reviewed progress in the implementation of SADC protocols and policies related to environment and tourism. Stay with us as we continue with the Namibian after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune in to Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on the Hotel Ebenhard Ripunda presented.
Services Minister Kalumbi Shangola delivered a powerful statement on behalf of the feasibility and implementation agreement for the Green High.
Hi, good day. My name is Vinny.
Let's continue with the newspaper review. The Ministry of Health and Social Services paid 3.2 million Namibian dollars in 12 medical lawsuits during the 2021-2022 fiscal year. This was revealed by the ministry's audit report tabled by Auditor General Junius Kanjeke in the National Assembly last week. The Executive Director of the Health Ministry, Ben Nangombe, told the Namibian that these are the cases where the ministry was taken to court and found liable. Namibian's Page 3 reports that the legal representatives of the suspended registrar of the Engineering Council of Namibia, Charles Mukwaso, are demanding that he assume his duties at the council. In the face of widespread poverty and ongoing drought, Kunene Governor Marius Shea has highlighted the urgent need for unity and strongly criticized the resurgence of tribalism, which he said is impeding regional progress. He also acknowledged that achieving socio-economic transformation requires joint efforts and called upon political, community, religious and traditional leaders to foster unity in their respective positions. He made the comments at a time when the region is facing multiple challenges that have widely been attributed to prevalent tribalism in the area. During yesterday's State of the Region address, Shea expressed concern that tribalism was once again becoming a disruptive factor and urged all leaders to set a positive example, promote unity and facilitate regional growth. For the Namibia and Botswana governments, it is not just about repatriating the Ovaherero, Ovabandera and Nama back to the country, but ensuring the returnees are well integrated and given economic opportunities. These were the sentiments of Oshodonjupa Regional Governor James Uerikua, who recently led a Namibian delegation on a diagnostic visit to Botswana, where the continued relocation of Botswana of Namibian descent, bilateral issues and people-to-people matters were discussed. And Bank Windhoek sponsored 100,000 Namibian dollars towards the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board's existing Note to Grow High Potential Pool, a specialized program developed to assist MSMEs with significant export potential. The NIPDB developed the Note to Grow High Potential Pool program to aid in scaling the operations of export-ready MSMEs with a high possibility of exporting their products. 2 entrepreneurs from K2G HPP were selected to participate in the trade exhibition. Shiwome Kala, owner of Shiwa's Bakery, and Erickson Malwa, who owns Talamo Food Namibia, said that the event was more than an eye-opener for them. Insurance company Momentum Metropolitan Namibia has announced plans to retrench employees as it aims to take a 10% reduction in its labor operating costs. More on this as we head into economic news.
In Mali, record-breaking Nono plates celebrate their second
Teamwork
birthday.
makes the dream work, right? Stop the nonsense. And reformists are...
End of our top stories on Africa. Good morning. Now, what are people saying?
All right. Now, Talent, we understand that Zimbabwe only has...
Heading into economic news, insurance company Momentum Metropolitan Namibia has announced plans to retrench employees as it aims to make a 10% reduction in its labor operating costs. The measure is likely to see the company reduce its labor costs by 10 million Namibian dollars per annum. CEO Sakaria Ngikembwa noted that MMN's long-term insurance or life business operations continue to face challenges. The expense base in the life business is high relative to the policy book. This has resulted in the business experiencing negative value of new business for the past 5 years. Various measures have been implemented to reverse this situation. This includes distribution channel reforms as well as cost reduction measures, he said in a letter to staff dated 26 June. Let's have a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.66 next to the US dollar, with €1 costing 20.39 Namibian dollars. MTC took another dip at 0.10%, whilst Capricorn, First Rand and Lechego Holdings Limited stock all took some upturns. Local index closed up 1.13%, whilst the overall index closed on a downtick of 1.27%. Upsurges in commodities could be seen with platinum and Brent crude oil. However, gold and copper took dips of 0.21% and 1.18% respectively. The Kenyan government has completed the third phase of post-mortems on the bodies believed to be followers of a cult. More on this after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Apologies, the story of Kenya is still a developing story. However, we're focusing on South Africa, particularly the South Africa government's decision to terminate the special residency permits of around 180,000 Zimbabweans, which has been ruled unconstitutional by the country's High Court. The Zimbabwe exemption permit system was introduced about 13 years ago to deal with the surge of migrants from its northern neighbor. They had fled economic hardships and political crackdowns. The 4-year visas were repeatedly extended, but in 2021, the government said it intended to end the scheme that had allowed Zimbabweans to live and work in South Africa. If implemented, it would force Zimbabweans to return home unless they obtained regular work visas, even if they had children who were born in South Africa and were South African citizens, the Associated Press agency reports. The Helen Suzman Foundation, the human rights organization which challenged the government's decision, hailed the ruling by the Gauteng High Court in the capital Pretoria. According to the AFP news agency, the Home Affairs Ministry said it would appeal. The International Committee of the Red Cross said on Thursday it had facilitated the release of 125 Sudanese soldiers held by the Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary group that has been fighting Sudanese forces since April. The soldiers' release, which occurred on Wednesday, followed a request by the parties to the conflict. ICRC said, "We stand ready to act as a neutral intermediary for the release of detainees from all sides to the conflict whenever requested," Jean-Christophe Sandoz, ICRC's head of delegation in Sudan, said in a statement. War between Sudan's army and the RSF has caused a major humanitarian crisis and displaced nearly 2.8 million people, of which almost 650,000 have fled to neighboring countries. Stay with us as we swing over to international news, starting off with Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says an alleged Russian agent involved in the deadly attack on Kramatorsk will be charged with treason. Those helping Russia destroy lives deserve the maximum penalty, he said. 12 people, including 3 teenagers, were killed in Tuesday's missile strike on a popular restaurant. Ukraine said the man, a resident of Kramatorsk, sent video footage of the restaurant to the Russian military hours before it was destroyed. On Wednesday, Ukrainian security services released a photo of a local man they had arrested, describing him as a Russian agent. Speaking in his nightly address, Zelensky explained that the country's security services had worked alongside police special forces to detain the suspect, who may face imprisonment. London's Court of Appeal will rule on Thursday if a British plan to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda is lawful, in a verdict that could make or break Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's pledge to stop migrants from arriving by boat. Under a deal struck last year, Britain's government plans to send tens of thousands of asylum seekers who arrive on its shores more than 4,000 miles to the East African country. The first planned deportation flight was blocked a year ago in a last-minute ruling by the European Court of Human Rights, which imposed an injunction preventing any deportations until the conclusion of legal action in Britain. In December, the High Court in London ruled the policy was lawful, but that decision is being challenged by asylum seekers from several countries, along with human rights organizations. A victory for the government will not mean immediate flight, because there may be a further court appeal, and the ECHR injunction prevents any deportations until 3 weeks after the conclusion of British legal action. Stay with us as we head into local sports after this short break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune in to Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Day 3 of the African States Bowls tournament kicked off this morning. The action will be broadcasted from 2 p.m. today and Friday by NTV on DSTV 285 and GoTV 25. Now, Frank Snyman from Team Namibia plays a shot in this. The results from yesterday, Zimbabwe picked up gold in the men's pairs game at the Trans-Namib Bowls Club in Windhoek, while South Africa finished second, with Botswana taking bronze. In the triple division, South Africa cleaned up with silver for Botswana and Zimbabwe, who won the bronze medal. Boxing fans in Harare, Zimbabwe are looking forward to a bumper boxing bonanza as the MTC Nesta Sunshine Tobias Boxing and Fitness Academy and Delta Force Boxing Promotions have joined forces to host an exciting boxing event on 14 July. In a press statement, boxing promoter Nesta Tobias said the event is a superb opportunity for fighters to showcase their skills, remain active, and gain valuable experience as they aim to move up the professional rankings. The second edition of the highly anticipated Nedbank Volley First tournament will take place at the Mbandu soccer field in Oshakati, Namibia on Saturday. The one-day tournament is an initiative between Connect People to People and the Far North Volleyball Association. The volleyball games aim to bring the sport closer to the people, especially in corporate, ministries, business, and other agencies in the northern regions. The tournament is also a platform for volleyball enthusiasts in said agencies to showcase their skills and passion for the game. We'll be speaking Jose Mourinho as we head into international sports after the break.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Jose Mourinho wore a microphone to protect himself when his AS Roma side faced Monza in May, but he could not resist a dig at the referee after the game and was handed a 10-day touchline ban on Wednesday. Mourinho will miss his team's Serie A season opener due to the suspension and was also given a €50,000 fine for comments made towards referee Daniele Schiffi, the Italian FA said. Mourinho strongly criticized Schiffi after Roma's 1-1 league draw against Monza, labeling him as the worst referee he has encountered in his entire career. Four-time Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles will return to the competition in early August at the U.S. Classic in Chicago, USA Gymnastics said on Wednesday, in what will be her first event since the Tokyo Games in 2021. The 26-year-old will take part in the single-day event on August 5, having been out of action for the past 2 years following her withdrawal from several events in Tokyo. Biles, who won 4 gold medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics, cited the pressure of living up to expectations and the need to protect her mental health for her decision to pull out of events in Tokyo, where she won a bronze on the balance beam and a silver in the team competition, from which she withdrew after 1 vault. And Senegal goalkeeper Edouard Mendy has left Chelsea to join Saudi Arabian side Al Ahly. The two clubs announced on Wednesday. The Lion of Teranga protects our goal, Al Ahly said in a Twitter post. Al Ahly, who are making their return to the top flight Pro League next season after a year in the second division, said Mendy's contract would run until 2026 without giving any financial details. British media reported that the Saudi club would pay around £16 million for the goalkeeper. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on the Hotel Ebenhard Ripunda presented.
Services Minister Kalumbi Shangola delivered a powerful statement on behalf of the feasibility and implementation agreement for the Green Hydrogen.
Hi, good day. My name is
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Let's get into the highlights from this afternoon's broadcast. The South African government's decision to terminate the special residency permits of around 180,000 Zimbabweans has been ruled unconstitutional by the country's High Court. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says an alleged Russian agent involved in the deadly attack in Kramatorsk will be charged with treason. And Day 3 of the African States Bowls tournament kicked off this morning in Windhoek, and you'll be able to catch all the action on NTV. Those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia, Africa, and the world, ranging from current affairs to economic news, sports, and international headlines. From me, Ashwin Betty, and everyone in studio, take care.